Welcome to Bareboat Sailing Charters. My name is Bill Bowman and I'll be going over your boat with you. The purpose of this instructional video is to provide you with useful information on the operation of your particular boat and to speed your check-in in Newport, giving you time to unpack, relax, and enjoy. At Bareboat Sailing Charters, we spend a great deal of time maintaining our boats to provide you with a safe, reliable vessel for your vacation. Happy boating! We're now going to go over the J49 DS. Let's go down below. We'll start in the main salon at the navigation station. First, we're going to go over the DC panel. The DC panel controls all the electrical systems on the boat. You have your navigation lighting, which consists of nav lights, steaming light, anchor light, and deck light. You have your interior lighting, labeled in yellow, and all the light switches throughout the boat are labeled in yellow to coordinate with this. You have your 12-volt outlets. Those are your cigarette-style outlets, which will charge your cell phone and laptop. We have the instrument light breaker, stereo, VHF. You have your instrument breaker labeled in white, which powers on all the instruments in the boat. You have your autopilot breaker. We then have your manual bilge pump, which you leave on during the day. Your water pump breaker labeled in blue. Your shower drain breaker to drain the shower pan, your refrigeration breaker, your freezer breaker, the cabin fan breaker, the inverter breaker, which controls the inverter outlet, the stove breaker, which controls the gas flow to the stove, the saltwater washdown pumps, one located forward, one located aft, and the macerator breaker, which controls the waste discharge. Moving over, we have the AC panel, which you have the water heater, the battery charger, AC outlets 1, AC outlets 2. And to turn the shore power on, this switch needs to be in the shore power position. Okay, moving on, we have the Raymarine E80. The boat is equipped with 3 units, 1 at the nav station and 2 at the helm. This unit must always be on first. When you power the unit on, you end up seeing this screen. You press OK to continue. To use this unit, you have the page key, the range key, your trackpad, and your soft keys. Page set cycles between your different displays, chart, radar, data. First we'll go over the chart. You use the chart in the most basic way. Range out, and range is indicated in the upper corner. You would move your cursor to wherever you want to go, say Block Island Sound. You now have a magnetic bearing and a range to your cursor, and that's how you utilize the unit. To return to the boat, you hit Find Cursor, Find Ship. When you're on Find Ship, it centers the cursor in the boat in the middle of the screen, and then you range back in. To change your displays, you hit the page key. Say we want to go to the radar, you hit the radar key. We're now on the radar screen. To transmit, as stated on the screen, you press the red power button here, and then you have transmit and standby. So press to transmit. We are now transmitting or scanning, and one note, when you are scanning, if you're scanning under sail, or transmitting with the radar under sail, you want to run the engine often to charge the batteries. If you're operating the radar under power, that's not as important. We press this again to go back to standby, and then one note, while you are in the transmit standby screen, the page set key will not function. You have to hit cancel to exit. Then hit page set, then hit your chart, and we're back to our chart. Below the E80, you have your marine stereo. It's a very basic radio. You have a CD slot here for your CD, and then you have an auxiliary input jack for your iPod. The boat does have an iPod cord. You plug it in here and plug it into your iPod. Then you hit the mode button to auxiliary to utilize the iPod. One note on the hot water heater. You get the warmest hot water when you're plugged into the shore power and using the electric hot water heater here. if you're getting hot water from the engine, it will never get as warm as the water from the hot water heater. Also, the hot water from the engine is warmest at the end of the day after the engine's been run. So if you want to take a shower or something like that and use the hot water off the engine, do it at the end of the day. In this compartment here, you have your bell and your flare kit. And your boat also comes with an Eldridge Tide book, a waterproof chart, and a New England and Long Island Sound Embassy cruising guide. And the cruising guides have popular destinations highlighted. And for instance, if you wanted to go to, say, Newport, you would open up to Newport. It's going to give you an aerial chart of the harbor and a list of all the services and phone numbers. And most of the locations also have an aerial photo of the harbor to help you become more familiar. Your boat also has a waterproof chart. This is probably the most important thing you're going to use. You'll keep this with you in the cockpit. It basically shows you where you can and can't go. So, as you're leaving Newport, you have to go out and around the fish nets here. You have to be careful of Sow and Pig Reef off of the end of Cutty Hunk. And you also cannot go into Woods Hole or Menimsha Pond. Also, located in your chart table here, you have a full-size chart book, 2 waterproof chart books, and all your navigation tools.